Together. The most important factor in life, which I realized and which I think all our spiritual books, whether it is Bhagavad Gita, whether it is another scriptures, which constantly teach us, but somehow we miss out on that balancing factor in life, is about giving and receiving being in balance. And sometimes when we do not understand that if giving and receiving is not in balance, how spiritually it can come back to you with full force in a way which you are completely not expecting and you may not even realize it. So to my utmost surprise, there were so many cases which I came across in my journey as a healer, where they were the most amazing and beautiful souls, what we call selfless, always giving, and genuinely whom I felt they did not expect anything in return. They were always in that giving, giving, giving. There are two kinds of people. One who genuinely believes in giving, one who may do big donations, may do many, many things, but in return, there is a lot of expectation of, it is quite ego-based giving, because they are expecting so much that people praise. There were 1,000 people there. There was this there. You didn't speak to me properly. You didn't do that. And they still live in their own stories of how they are the one who is giving so much to the society, how they are giving so much to other people. So in reality, probably, if you understand the journey of soul, that doesn't count as giving at all. Probably you are buying that by giving your name plate somewhere, by giving donation, and you are attaching a reason to it to justify your own action. To my surprise, when I was learning and one of my teacher explained us that many times these donations are guilt-based. And I asked, how are they guilt-based? They said if somebody in their family died in cancer, they will donate only for the cancer hospital. So part of you is feeling very bad about it. If you could not fulfill education, you will give money only in that, because part of you is still not in terms with that. So there are a number of diseases, there are a number of things. So there is a lot of guilt attached to that, which probably we may not realize. Another thing, while giving, what is the intent with which the person is giving defines in your karmic book also your return policy. The karmic book does not have a very simple return policy like your Amazon, like majority of the companies where you buy product and return policy is given very, very clearly to you. So when I realized that there were one client with severe Parkinson, there was somebody else with again some severe health issue. And even though I knew them for a very short time, only as a therapist, I realized that there's people who could not even communicate properly, but they may have heard me talking to their friends and only for a minute or two, but they were intelligent enough to recognize and say, I want to go here. And I'm like, do you even know what I'm doing? They said, like, I just know I'm coming to you. And there was so much pain in my heart while working with them. And I'm like, God, why? I've never seen such a beautiful soul so pure, so giving. I mean, genuinely no expectations and genuinely wishing good for everyone. And Creator just gave one answer, and that this lady never realized how to receive with grace. She's always in giving, giving, giving. She always wants to give. Again, I'm reminding you guys there are two kinds of givers. One is giving to boost their own ego, probably unknowingly. The other is giving because that's their soul's element. The soul's element is just to know I'm here to give. I want to share joy. They will always be thinking about others first, and they will not just ignore their own needs, but they may just not even think about themselves. How do I define if I fall into one of this category of always overdoing anything? It defines from your everyday action. So in your everyday action, what is it? Your decisions are based on what are you doing for others first. Your decisions are based on how will that will make their life easier. And sometimes it is a condition. Not even that you really are a giver, but it's a social conditioning in which you have lived for so many years. Now you really do not know how to think the reverse way. For example, in one of the meeting where like they were all middle-aged women and they all were joking and asking. So one of them actually said, and she is a multi-millionaire, like have so many people in the house. She's the mother of 3 daughters. I'm talking about the Indian mindset. She said, my husband goes for badminton to the club in the morning and sometimes for the golf. He carries his bag, he gets ready there and directly go to our factory. The factory has a huge house, kitchen, everything very close by in Mumbai only. So we have a cook there who prepares food for all the directors we have there. My both the daughters got married, and she said, like, I have forgotten what I want to eat. She said, for years I used to think, what will my parents eat and prepare food accordingly. Then I thought, what will my father-in-law wants to eat? What would my mother-in-law want to eat? What does my brother-in-law want to eat? What does my husband want to eat? And each one is very finicky and they all are foodies and they want. So for years, the menus were being fixed based on that. Then we separated from a joint family into a nuclear family. And then children would demand that, Mom, I want to have this. Mom, I want to have that. You prepare this special diet food for me. You do that. So the entire, I used to command that, the food was prepared based on that. Now both the daughters are married. Third one is studying abroad. My husband leaves early in the morning. And when my servant asked me, ma'am, what do I prepare? I don't know what do I want to eat because I have never thought about it for years. So I tell them, I ask them, what do you want to eat? Achha, you prepare that food. And we were joking and we were laughing. And majority women there said the same thing. Because they actually never thought. The first thing in the morning is what food will be prepared in an Indian household. And what food will be prepared is either based on who all are eating, and that's your family, or some guests are coming, then there are more delicacies because like you cannot have simple food. And then you do that for so many years, year after year, year after year. You actually do not know that what you like and what you dislike. This is my liking, this is my disliking, this is that demanding, the desires I want to have, like you have all the facilities. So that is also one aspect in life from the childhood. You have been raised to see yourself from the mass consciousness in a particular role that you are playing. And probably you do not realize what are you doing, because you have seen that from the beginning, what your mothers do, what your nannies do, what your dadis do. So which, Corey, for nani and dadi are grandmothers in India. What your aunts do. And every decision in the house, whether you want to go out for a movie and somebody else wants to go to a restaurant, like small decisions, everything is based on others' opinions. And probably it looks like you're seeking for their approval, but you forget you exist. You become a giver. But to a level you have forgotten you are also there. You came down on this earth for your own journey. And it is fine to know what you like, what you dislike. It is fine to demand comfort for you. You are always in that position that if by any chance some food is less in quantity, you also love to eat that food, and you know that your child also loves to eat. By default, you will be very happy not to eat that food and keep that food for your child. What sort of beliefs are we nourishing here? Are we believe there is scarcity? I'm talking about the beliefs which we unknowingly go on nourishing. There is enough in the house. It is not that one person needs to always be in the sacrificing mode. To me, when I started realizing it and I started sharing this with my family, I remember my husband always used to tell me, you don't need to be Mata Hari for everyone. Because it's in me, like even I could not, I would always think, oh, my child will love this. Oh, this one will love that. But this one is coming for food. So people laugh and they say, like, no matter what, we come and give you a surprise or whether there is a planned meal. But even in 2 minutes notice, when we sit down on your dining table, there are 20 items. No matter what, you somehow will manage to prepare and feed 20 items to people there. And then I realized that majority time I would have done that at the cost of I have not got time to eat my food. I have not got time for my exercise. What I believe strongly I have to do, like my prayers, I cannot let go because I prioritize it. So my prayers will be done. The house has to be clean. And how we go on creating patterns for ourselves. Nobody asked us to do that. And then came a phase in life where I started learning back to back, workshop after workshop, workshop after workshop. I have not looked back for years when I started enrolling myself as a student for workshops. And then there are a lot of releases happening, and there was this eye opener, and I started questioning my every action. And I'm like, yeah, it is fine. I get a lot of happiness to see so much food. I like to create, I like to prepare thousand things. But what is the belief system that I have behind it? Am I doing it out of fear? Am I doing it because I want that acknowledgement and appreciation from people? Am I doing it because what will people say? लोग क्या बोलेंगे? ऐसे तो ये होना ही चाहिए. Like, what I have heard in my childhood so many times. नहीं, तुम्हें ये तो करना ही है. तुम ये नहीं कर सकते. You have to do this. You can't do this. Am I being a victim of my own thought patterns? And then I started experimenting to the same people whom, like, they would just come at any time and then they would like really demand. They would call up and demand and say, tomorrow I have a function, you prepare food for this 20 people and send me tomorrow. And I'm like, but I am too occupied. But I had given them the right to demand it. They said, I don't care. You make the best pizzas, you make the best patras, you make the best this thing. And I'm like, what if I reverse the rule? But then I felt so hesitant to demand to people. So while giving, I didn't hesitate, but while receiving, I was like, no, why should I ask? I can do it myself. But then I thought and I realized, but even they can do it themselves. Do they? Like everyone can do it. So probably they believe that I'm such a close friend or I'm such a close relative that they can demand. So I demanded once just to break my cycle of giving and receiving. I demanded, I said, tomorrow I have this many people, you prepare this. I could sense my like I was so hesitating to ask for that. It felt so obligated to me. Even when I'm demanding, I couldn't demand because I felt so obligated. Why should I demand? Why should I ask somebody to do something for me? And just to correct my own self, I thought, no, you have to do it. Because now everything was, I want to balance my giving and receiving. I don't want to end up having Parkinson's. I don't want to end up having the diseases like what I am seeing in my clients. Where do I begin? I have to learn to receive with grace. And then how will I know whether I'm receiving with grace is when I speak, I take action. And I realized how easily they refused. How easily those same people refuse and they say, tomorrow I don't have any time. Oh, we want to go out, you let me know. I am available only from this time to this time. And here I'm thinking, boss, for years I never looked at my watch. I shifted everything. And that was the beginning of, a lot of resentment. Because then we resent what we have given. And karmically also you nullify. You nullify what you have done. Because even when karmically you are giving and in your book that positive karmas come, what you are actually doing is the minute if it doesn't come, there is a resentment, and that not coming is as per your expectation. Because you never developed that habit of being non-judgmental. And what was the main principle of any religious books? To be non-judgmental for yourself and for others, to accept people for who they are and to accept yourself for who you are, without wanting to change others and without wanting to change ourselves. So you guys need to start questioning yourself on your actions. Today I wanted to give a lot of like simple daily life examples where we realize that we are creating the imbalance in our lives of giving and receiving. I constantly question myself on that only for a simple reason, because I witnessed a lot of clients who are selfless, who are givers, suffering with the disease. And because Creator said, the law of the universe is no matter what you give, it comes back to you. Now, because they believed only in giving, what was remaining in their books was receiving. What they missed out was receiving with grace. So they received by suffering. If I'm constantly giving to you, and there is no receiving, then the receiving comes in some form where, like for example, in a family, you're giving, 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 giving. You never received with grace. Then the receiving comes when you are sick, you are unwell, and the same family has to take care of you. To the level they could not eat their own food, they could not wear their own clothes, they could not go and take their own bath. Balancing out the giving and receiving. So today we were focusing more on people who are constantly in that giving mode and unknowingly do not understand how to receive with grace. People who became giving in the giving position, not realizing they're actually giving, like that lady, but have forgotten their own purpose of life. They've forgotten they exist. They've forgotten that they are also important. They've forgotten their own identity. They've forgotten that they also deserve the time for themselves. They also deserve to spend on themselves. They also deserve to just take rest and one day or a few days not to prepare any food in the house. It is okay. They also deserve all that things. Because if you have to balance it out, it's not about one day. You have to balance it out in a way. How many years you didn't think about yourself? Don't you deserve that many years are already in your account now? I'm just joking. Like, you are not going to, like, if 20 years you have given to your family, you are not going to demand for 20 years. But you do deserve that 20 days of vacation without feeling guilty about it, that, oh, I'm not there for my children, I'm not there for my family. Is this making sense to people? What I want you guys to start is to start questioning your every action. During this week, start questioning your every action when you're giving, when you're receiving. What is the intent behind it? Are you doing it so that people really appreciate you? Are you doing it because only then it makes you feel good? Do you really, can you also demand the same thing from people, or do you really hesitate? It really makes you feel very bad about asking for it. And then there are, like, this does not end here. There are like many steps after that. The imbalance will still happen in life because we are not constantly questioning and operating from that consciousness. But at least there is an awareness of what I am doing. And the minute there is a shift in your thought pattern, you will start changing your actions as well. And this is a topic where a lot of things need to change in your action, at your action level. And in that action level, probably people start realizing, whoever has learned Theta on the platform, you actually sit and do digging for that. You actually sit with yourself and start your own digging. So for example, if you are giving, ask yourself, who told me, what will I become if I'm not a giver? When was the first time I did that? What is the belief I'm holding on to? Is this my belief or a genetic belief that I'm holding on to? So Savina is saying, my mom always taught it's okay to help others, but but kisi ka ehsan mat lo, so we never learn to receive. Yeah, Samina, that is the story for, I think, majority people. Because people feel very obligated. Ehsan is feeling obligated. If you take it, and that, so now the next question for the Theta students will be, so what will happen if I actually take obligation of others? Like when you really want to clear this pattern from you, you will have to really go deeper. तो एहसान लिया तो क्या होगा? So Amrita is saying my mom is a giver and is suffering for Parkinson. Amrita, that is the story. Like I cannot tell you how many clients I have worked on having this problem, and that's why like I emphasized so much today on that. Please start balancing yourself out here, and if possible, start explaining this concept to them. Probably when you are explaining it to your mom, you need to take help of Bhagavad Gita or something, what she understands. But for all who have learned anything in Sesta, like Amrita, you have learned B technique, then probably you need to be it out. Why is the need in me to do that? Or knowingly, unknowingly, have I picked up my mother's patterns of always being a giver? What am I right now? What does that make you, a giver or a receiver? And go deeper, go deeper, go deeper. When is the first time? And probably you may get surprised that it is something which happened in your childhood and you are still holding on to it. And then you all know, if you are in Theta, like technically you need to do many things, clearing the soul fragments, clearing the free-floating memories, changing that belief at all four levels, doing the downloads. Probably your soul, you need to heal. You need to do baby in the womb. You may feel that pain, you need to do the heart song. Because till then, it becomes difficult to be in another position and being in that balancing act out. Or you constantly do the B and the releases are also happening together, Amrita. And then you're realizing. But doing then those Theta downloads are very, very important, not just the downloads. Because I can see many faces here who have learned Theta with us. So just do everything. Clear your free-floating memories, clear the ghost imprint, clear, identify like whose belief is this? Is this mine? Is this somebody else's? Like there will be a lot of technical steps that you do. That would help you to create that. What sort of obligation-based life, like going deeper. What will that make me? That will make you selfish. What happens when I'm selfish? Like there will be layers and layers. You all know how do we do sessions. But do that. What can you suggest your mom to cure? To increase dopamine, a happiness hormone. And probably her body doesn't know how to. That's exactly what I was explaining. A small thing is I do not know what food I want to eat, and I tell my servant, you prepare, what do you want to eat, and you prepare. I have forgotten to enjoy the music. You have forgotten to enjoy food. You have forgotten to like just watch a movie. You have forgotten to just do no intelligent talk, like just chatting with your friends and laughing and like, being stupid. All that is actually increasing dopamine, endorphins in the body. But we have forgotten we exist. So probably now, Amrita, what you can do is you fix up a time with her. You have learned B. So you can do only the B technique with her. I'm hoping that you soon learn Theta, because to reverse the condition of Parkinson's, you will require the combination of both a lot. You will require a lot of things, because then probably you can every day pass healing to her. You can do certain clearing of her energies. There will be a lot of things which you combine together. So, but for now, like just start doing that with her. So is this making sense to everyone? Please prepare, like, when you look at the video again, prepare those question list. Today, I'm not going to give you ready question list because I want you to listen to it and prepare it, because then certain things you notice again. And it's like reprogramming yourself again. And probably you can pause it and start asking yourself that question right there and start writing it in your diary. And then whoever has not learned theta or B technique can simply for the resolution ask, how can I act differently? What am I actually doing? What actions of mine prove that I am having imbalance in giving and receiving? Today, what you are focusing is more on where you are more at the giving side and not at the receiving side. Yeah. So do that, and anything that comes out to you, like, what you explore, you please share that with us, because there are times like either where you share or you question, you also will understand it deeper, and people will also understand it deeper from your stories. It's a journey we all are doing together. So for now, it's already 9:34. I'll pass healing. Don't worry, your downloads will be done during the week. Will not miss out on the downloads. Will not miss out on meditation. I'll pass healing to all of you. So greater of all that is, it is commanded that I know what it feels like to have balance in my giving and receiving factor at my soul level, at an emotional level, at a spiritual level, at physical level, at mental level, at financial level, through Creator's definition and perspective of the seventh plane of Creator of all that is. And any hidden beliefs, any hidden requirement, any hidden need in me, which is creating imbalances, any fear based realities that I may have created, any reality based on the social norms and rules, any realities based on my genetic rules and conditioning, any realities based on what I have heard from my parents, grandparents, great grandparents, all that realities, I allow that to come to my surface level, to identify, acknowledge, and to delete the files, to release them to the light, and to bring the change in my perception, my understanding, and my action through Creator's definition and perspective of the seventh plane of Creator of all that is. I know how to do that easily and effortlessly. It is safe, it is possible. And I'm deserving of identifying, creating, and living the balance in giving and receiving at all the levels of who I am, what I am. Into every cell of your body, every area of your life, at all the four level of your beliefs, for each one's highest and best, and the highest and best possible way for each one. Thank you, it is done, it is done, it is done. Creator, show me. Please say yes to receive this download now and later while watching the video. I know what it feels like to have the balance in my giving and receiving connected to my higher self, and from the inner wisdom that I draw, guiding me with every action that I take in my life, moving beyond the brain candy and having this as an automatic and a default nature in me to remain in balance and to operate out of balance through Creator's definition and perspective of the seventh plane of Creator of all that is, allowing balance as my second nature and allowing that to permeate into my every reality, and that it is completely possible and I'm deserving of it. Into every cell, fiber, tissue, molecule of your body, every area of your life, at all the different parallel realities that you are living in, and all that you are allowing to integrate that into every cell of your body, every area of your life, at all the core level of your beliefs, for each one's highest and best, in the highest and best possible way for each one now. Say yes to receive these feelings. Thank you, it is done, it is done, it is done. Creator, show me. Creator of all that is, it is commanded that I know how to release the unwanted from me and that it's possible. Thank you. Just say yes to receive this. Passing unconditional love, light, and healing to each one. You all can open your eyes. The last guidance for each one was that today's affirmation is I receive my appreciation and respect with grace. So just go on affirming for today. I receive my appreciation and respect with grace. Apart from watching the video and questioning, but go on affirming this to start clearing why are you in this position. Yeah. So one more time I'm repeating. I, or who will say what I had said? I just want to know because I would have shut the day and then you guys will ask, can you just tell me on the group what was the affirmation that you gave? Whoever has written it down will write it on the chat because I want to know whether you are actually listening or not. Yeah. Shalini has written. So whoever has not written, please take it from the chat. Oh wow, a lot of people have. So I receive my appreciation and respect with grace. I'm so happy to see that you all are writing it down. Yes. So thank you so much for joining and continuing with this topic. This is one of my favorite topic because the majority imbalance happens here. There might be time we need to repeat this topic from different perspective and allow ourselves to clear from different perspective. So lots of gratitude. Have a wonderful day. See you all tomorrow, 9 a.m. Thank you. Bye-bye.